It's Julia Renee.
And Kendall Aaliyah. Welcome back to the Know Your Power podcast. Hello, welcome back.
What's up?
We are talking about supporting women and creating female connections and relationships today. I think coming out of the weekend of your show and like being with our friend group for the first time in a minute, it just reminds me like how refreshing female connection is and like how nice. It was also the hardest I think I've laughed in like forever.
I'm telling you, the next day, my stomach hurt as if I had trained abs. Literally. I'm not exaggerating. And I hadn't trained abs. So I was like, what is going on? I was like, oh, it's because I laughed so freaking hard.
I wish I could show you guys some of the videos I took of our girl Julia post-show. Because I feel like people perceive us, obviously, and like our relationship through like a 1 hour segment sometimes. First thing in the morning on a Wednesday, where I'm like, I wish you guys could see us when we're like fully in our element Feral. With our other friends. Like it was so funny.
It was so funny. That video that Chloe sent in the group, I had my little glass of, because I knew that I'm not going to be competing after this show.
Yeah.
So I was like, I am going to have a little glass of wine. So I told Maya to get me like one of those little pink wines. And that was like right after it. I was just
the video I
it.
took of you with the, that one was good.
I was
that
losing
one was really
it.
good. But yeah, it just reminded me like how good those relationships are. And also I talked last episode about getting another tattoo. And while I was laying there, she was like, what made you, just out of curiosity, like come back to me? Like what made you book again? And I was just telling her a little bit about like how any chance I can support another woman in their craft, in their field, an entrepreneur, whatever it is, like I would love to. So like, of course, like I had a good interaction with you. I loved your energy. I feel very safe with you. I told her even because like, she's just very comforting and like talks a lot, which I like, especially when getting something like a tattoo or like a hairdresser, you know? So I just mentioned that and she posed the question. She was like, when or like, why did you start supporting other women? Because you've said that more than once now. Like what made you go through that? Because she grew up with brothers. I grew up with brothers. And sometimes that's a little unnatural or like...
True.
Like harder sometimes. And it like really racked my brain because I was like, when and why did I start really activating?
Kind of activating.
What word was I searching for though? Advocating.
Yeah. I was like, you activated your women supporting women muscle.
Advocating for other women so heavily and just like trying to support them any way I can. And so that kind of led me to this episode because I was really racking my brain to be like, when and why did I start?
Where was that shift?
So first off with like backstory, and I think we kind of have a similar one with like our relationship to other girls growing up and other women in our life where it's like, I didn't grow up with a ton of female friends. I didn't grow up with like a ton of friends, period. I kind of like mooched off my brother's friends, which were obviously mostly other boys. And so that was kind of like the energy I grew up with was a very masculine household. I have 3 older brothers. I have my dad. My mom's very like tomboyish, very competitive. So also masculine energy, where for a lot of my childhood, I think I didn't know how to make girlfriends. And sometimes I even feared it and feared my relationship with other girls. I think I always had an assumption that girls wouldn't like me. And I don't know where exactly that came from. Part of it was like I grew up in gymnastics and other like very individual sports where I was constantly kind of pitted against other girls, especially other girls my age. Like, and I feel like that's something I hope isn't always the case in every environment, but like my gym specifically for gymnastics was like very competitive and very selective where like if you're not the favorite, you're treated differently. And so it really is like a competition against each other all the time where I loved these other girls.
Like dance moms.
No, actually that's like the big closest thing I could account it to where like the coaches were pretty aggressive.
Because that is more of like an elite level where the parents are like probably paying a lot of money.
Yep.
Some of them are like living through their children, maybe even
all the time, actually.
Maybe even they did what they did, or they wanted to do what they're doing at their level. So they're like, you will be great even kills you.
Yeah. And like my mom's competitive too, which I think is like normal, wanting your kid to win, but definitely like it was just a lot of energy around like that girl. Yes, you guys can be friends in the gym, but like when it's game time, and like that is your competition. So as much as like media and stuff also pins women against each other all of the time, and creates a lot of competition that isn't even or shouldn't be there, I also had the literal competition element. So growing up, it was just like I didn't feel like I always fit in with other girls. And I think it took me until like my teenage years to look inward and be like, okay, me having this energy, me making these assumptions is probably really off-putting to other women, where sometimes you're not creating the atmosphere that you want to attract, you know? If I'm scared to talk to you, I'm obviously going to give off a weird ass energy when I'm around you, and maybe like put up a wall or be perceived as standoffish because when really I'm too scared.
Like, I'm just as scared as you.
Exactly.
It's kind of like when people are like, don't kill bugs because they're more scared of you than you are of them. It's like that.
Yeah, no, literally. So I'm the spider.
I'm just a spider in the corner who's terrified of you.
Yeah. So it took me forever to like kick that competition mindset, that like fearful mindset. Like I feel like that is so common. And I know you were in like sometimes masculine heavy sports around you too, where maybe like you just honestly didn't even have the chance to make female connections all the time. Like it can be challenging growing up if you don't grow up in either like a household with sisters that you get along with, or like just, I didn't even live in like a community. You know, I kind of lived like end of a creepy private road. So it's like I didn't even have neighbors to like connect with. It was just very isolating. Yeah,
mine was like being the only girl on the wrestling team.
Yeah.
Where I think that's where it became the most challenging for me, because I did have to adopt a lot more, masculine tendencies in order to fit in with them, to even be respected, to even be allowed.
That's how I feel with my brothers too.
In the space to like have any level of like equality. And then I think one of the first people I can now look back on that kind of, I didn't realize what she was doing in the time. My mom was obviously the first person, didn't realize what she was doing at the time. Where my mom is like one of the best examples for supporting women, even like at her age. And I will not share because she's always like, I swear. She's listening to this right now. I actually
don't even know my mom's age anymore because I think I just haven't said it in so long.
She just, from the lies, from all the lies.
She's not a day over 40. Yeah, neither of them.
She's not. But she did that with me and my little sister at such a young age. Like we would watch her. She still does it. She compliments women of all ages everywhere that she goes. Yeah. She makes a point to make everyone feel loved and beautiful. This is also what she does as a job. Aww. And I remember there'd be times where like I would come home from school and I dressed very like eccentric for, I guess, the age that I was at, because I was also very interested in fashion and was in,
I could see you like full heels, full dress at school. I love that.
I was full beat at school. I would wear heels every day. And then I would take it off. I'm serious.
Sweatpants.
And then I would go wrestling practice. Like it didn't make no sense. And then I was in the fashion club and we would put like fashion shows on. So I was sewing and making outfits and stuff like that. So I would dress very eccentric. And sometimes there would be girls that would like copy what I was doing. And I would be so mad because I'm a stupid little teenager. I would come home and be like, this girl copied my outfit and or this girl did this. And my mom would just be like, well, isn't imitation like the sincerest form of flattery? She probably just thinks that your style is really cool. And there's nothing. And I'm like, be on my side.
Yeah.
Or she would just always have the like kind aspect of it. And I just didn't get what she was doing. But now when I'm with my sister, me and my mom, like I can see the impact that my mom had on me and my sister, because now we go out and we spread that. And we're always the first person. Like if we like something in somebody, we're going to tell them. Like, we're going to stop them on the street. We're going to tell them. If we notice something in someone, we're going to tell them. And it started from my mom. But then I had a wrestling coach, because they had to bring in a girl wrestling coach for me to practice with.
Yeah.
Because if not, I would only be practicing with the boys, which is what I did the majority of the time. But it's different because none of them were like my weight. So they would bring her in, and she was the first, like my mom is more soft with it and kind. And she was more of like we will not stand for this.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of times.
That's more my mom.
Yes. So I think that's where I have like a little bit of the balance too, where she would notice how I would get treated differently in the sport that I was in by my teammates or some of the coaches. And she was always like we will not stand for this, Julia and me. No. And she was she was more like aggressive with it. And I can now see, I'm like, oh my God, she had my back so much. Yep. And I would just let things fly by. I didn't even notice when I was being treated differently as a woman. And it was just, as a kid, that's how it was for me.
That's cool that you had like two very different levels of both being like female empowerment
and
examples.
Both of them they're equally as powerful.
Yeah. I feel like you can have both responses now that you adapt from both of them.
Sure. I definitely have we will not stand for this. And then I'm also like, okay, well, maybe she's hurting too.
Yeah.
Okay. Ever think about that?
You hit both sides. I feel like my mom got that way. We almost got that way together, where I feel like as I grew up and learned some of those qualities, she did as well, because like she was living a lot in the masculine and working in masculine fields and being a powerhouse mom. And I feel like she was just so focused on like us that I don't remember her commenting a lot about other women, never in a negative way, but also not in a positive way. It was just very neutral in our house, I think. And now like both of us are very, let's compliment everyone. She has 1,000,001 girlfriends.
She has so many friends. She has
so too many.
More than we do.
I can't keep track. Like, honestly, she was like, she's traveling with a group of, they're in Egypt right now. Like just a group of girlfriends. Like, I don't know. She's always off doing something. But I feel like I had to kind of make some of those shifts on my own and like, honestly, just like rewire my thought process around like relationships with other women, especially strangers. I think like that's what I feared the most, was like, how do I make that initial friendship if I can't even talk to someone? So it's just kind of about learning like about giving off an energy I want to attract. Yes. Where it's like, okay, if I want this girl to feel comfortable to talk to me, I need to be comfortable to talk to her, even if it's not received well. I think like going in with just like intention of like, hey, I trust you, I like this one thing about you, just like saying those compliments you think in your head, or like trying to show support of like, I'm here if you need anything for anyone around you. Just like all of those little shifts slowly added up. And I feel like as they're received well, you almost gain confidence. I would imagine it's how like guys feel asking a girl out. I could never do it. But like you start with like a little compliment at a girl, and then if they like receive it well, it's like, do you want to get dinner sometimes? It's almost like the same thing, where it's as you start giving out compliments or giving out good energy and it's received well, and people either reciprocate or just say thank you, and you know you made like maybe a little impact on their day, it feels so good and so fulfilling that it's like, oh, I want to do this more.
But you have to take those shots.
Yes.
And most of the time people don't take the shots at all.
Yep.
They don't see the things, they don't ask the questions, they don't like compliment because maybe one time in the past, a couple times, maybe it wasn't received, or maybe it wasn't reciprocated or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I say to people like that, when you're giving somebody a gift, whether it's like a actual physical gift or the gift of like a compliment or the gift of recognizing something in them, you give without expecting anything in return. Yeah. Other than if you're not doing that, then it's not a gift. Yeah. Then it's transactional.
Exactly. So, I feel like intent is super important. Yep.
So it doesn't matter if like you go up to a girl and like you compliment something on her, or you try to have a conversation, it's not received in the way that you want it to. So
yeah. You wanted to give her that gift.
Yes. You don't need to like oh, well, I'm taking it back.
Yeah.
You did something out of the kindness of your heart, right? And it might not always come right back, but it will with the right people that are supposed to be in your life.
I think like creating a space of sincerity too, and like actually rewiring your beliefs about other women is sometimes needed, where if you did grow up in a very competitive mindset or even scarcity mindset, we've talked about it before, where sometimes like media portrays it as like there can only be one woman who gets the man, or like like there's not enough resources for you or like positions for you in that job. Like I feel like that can create a lot of animosity, and I feel like you have to like strip yourself of that and fully want to trust and support other women. Like it all starts within you. You can't build like real genuine relationships with people if you aren't genuinely rooting for them. Like all the Reddit stories I listen to makes me like literally want to like cry at how many like bad relationships people are stuck in, or like friendships people are stuck in, and they don't know that like real genuine positive relationships where you're not talking bad behind the other person's back, or you're not secretly trying to tear them down or jealous of them or whatever it looks like.
Or they just like want to see you fail.
Exactly.
They're like your frenemy.
Yeah. I've even seen messages, like not often at all, because I think people recognize that we love each other. But I've seen like little comments about like, ooh, she did that or said that like about us. And I'm like, it makes me sad that you think female relationships have to exist with some animosity in there. Like we have a very pure relationship where I feel like we genuinely want the best for each other in any, like you could come to me and be like, I'm going to space. And I'd be like, hell yeah, you are.
How we getting there, brother?
Like I will never meet anything you do with judgment or like literally at all, which is very, I recognize rare sometimes, but it makes me want to like hold your hand and be like, real genuine friendships are out there.
It doesn't have to be this way.
It exists. You don't have to be catty,
No
which
company
is so nice.
is better than bad company.
Exactly. So yeah, I think just like rewiring my actual beliefs and being like, okay, every interaction I have with another woman, until they are super mean to me, I'm going to assume the best and kind of like go out with my own good intentions. And I feel like once you start putting that energy out there, then if someone comes up to you first, you're ready to receive it too. Because if you're closed off and someone, like I definitely couldn't take compliments or anything for a really long time. So if someone did compliment me, I'd kind of be like, oh, thanks. And like very dismissive. But now that I think I am like more open, like I'm very quick to be like, thank you so much. And here's where I got the shirt, or like, I love your shirt too. Or like, just what's your Instagram? I've seen you around here. You look amazing. Just like saying those little things goes so far, which is so nice.
They really do. It's like I love what you said about realizing back then that it's almost like you need to become the kind of woman that you're wanting to attract. So maybe back then, I know I was too, like I wasn't giving off the vibe or the energy and the effort of the type of friend that I wanted to attract. So of course it's not going to come to me, because I needed to step into that version of myself and believe all those things about me first.
Yes.
And then now I have this amazing group of girlfriends that just want to see me win, like I want to see them win.
I had someone ask me a while ago, but it kind of stuck with me because hopefully she received my answer well. But she asked me because she was in a relationship and she was a little self-conscious about herself and her relationship. And she was very honest with me about that, which I like appreciated. She felt safe to tell me. But she was like, when we go out to eat, she posed the question. She was like, when you go out to eat with your boyfriend, if you have like a beautiful waiter, like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel less than, or like, do you get like, jealous?
She's beautiful, right?
And I do think like years ago, like when I was really self-conscious and insecure, I definitely would have been like, oh, he looked at the waiter, or like just those little thoughts where I probably wouldn't voice any of it, but I would let it tear me down. And I honestly responded to her and I was like, no, I feel no jealousy at all. Cause I think what you need to get to, or what I finally got to, is she can be beautiful and so can I. Yes. Like there is room for both of us to have beautiful souls.
Yes. No, that's a really good answer.
And yes, now I'm like, oh, you're beautiful, to the waiter, and she'll walk away and I'll go to my boyfriend. Isn't she gorgeous? Yeah. Like,
and they're like, what's the right answer to this question?
Is this a trick? And it's like, no, it's like genuinely, I think like I can, like, I think coming to that point was like, it took me a while. I was so self-conscious. And then when you are self-conscious, you project it on other people that maybe you might pedestalize or idolize. So
that goes like back to the competition aspect where there can only be one pretty girl.
Yeah.
There can't be the pretty waitress and then me too. Like we can't both. There can't be two girls that are the athletes. There can't be two girls that are smart. It's like there's a bajillion of us out there. Okay.
Yes.
There can be a lot of us.
Okay. Going into like actually creating female friendships, because I know like maybe complimenting someone at the gym doesn't always lead to something. I think first off, like putting yourself in spaces and situations to meet other women and other women either in your space or might have similar hobbies or outlook as you. I feel like the gym space is so unique because a lot of us get into fitness to better ourselves. So typically when you meet a gym girl, they're not just working on the physical side. A lot of us have or are doing a lot of mental work too. So usually you're on the same wavelength. So of course, like in the gym's going to be an easy one for us to speak on. I think doing classes, if you like doing classes, is a great way too, where like my mom was doing Pilates and like learned the name of everyone in her class every week. She did the same class with the same people. Another one of their names was Deb. Her name's Deb. They bonded instantly. Like being in those situations, in those rooms with those women, even like networking and work events, like that's something that's out of my comfort zone.
There's a lot of like women's events, especially like in your field. Like for me, I'll go to like women's events that are either like retreats or they're entrepreneur events or even just like fitness events that are like put on like maybe local here. And that's where I started too. And it was so uncomfortable because I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I knew like if I want to step into this space, I have to find more people that like what I like, where we can actually have something to relate to. So a lot of these like things are getting out of your own head, getting out of your own way, and getting uncomfortable and doing that thing that you really don't want to do.
Because maybe your best friend's there.
I mean, literally.
You never know. Another tool I really like as an introvert is social media. I was talking about it last episode. Like I love just following like other women who are in either similar shoes in fitness or like honestly sometimes completely unrelated, and just like following their journey and like actually supporting them and actively supporting them and messaging them. And I had like a coincidental one yesterday where when we were in Dallas area, we went to a gym. And so I posted my photos from that gym and I tagged the gym. And a girl who I have followed for forever, we've DM'd a few times. I love her and her energy, very similar interests. We're both like anime nerds, which is nice to find sometimes. And she was like, oh my gosh, if you're ever in the area again, let me know. And I had no clue she moved to Texas. She was like living in Florida, I want to say. So it was just like one of those connections where she was like, then she messaged, not you getting jealous.
You can't have two friends. Just kidding. No, but that actually reminds me of something that Katie said earlier, which I feel like we should talk about that too. No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
The only reason I did that was because this weekend Kendall brought up that like when she had talked about another friend that she had, I was like, who's this bitch?
But I feel like that's honestly, like sometimes I look out for like the people in your life and I'm like, what's your intention with her? Because I'm protective of you. But it's never like an actual jealousy.
Yeah. We're just playing.
But no, talk about what Katie said, because I think that was important.
What you were saying.
Oh, basically, yeah. I'm going back to Dallas area a few times for something next month. And now I'm like, now I have a friend and we're going to meet up and we're going to go work out. And it's like that connection wouldn't have happened if I didn't like comment on half of her Instagram photos over the last year.
Yep. So. And have the courage to post a photo and tag where you were at. And it's like, it all just kind of happened the way that it was. This weekend with this past show was a really big reminder of this episode because not only like did all of us, our friend group, get to hang out, and one of my favorite things is that my little sister gets to be a part of that as well. And that like my sister and I have moved past the I'm bullying her phase because she was my little sister. And now like I'm like, she's such a cool person, and that my friends like her too. I'm like, I know.
I love Chloe.
I'm like, she's awesome, right?
We also need to have her on again soon.
She's going to come next week.
Yes.
Okay. She told me that she wanted to come on right before this last peak week, and I was like, I want to be. The episodes with her are so good that I'm like, I want to be brain cell. Yeah. I want brain cells.
I want to be brain cell.
I want to be brain cells so that we can lose our brain cells with Chloe.
Yes. Because that's my favorite time.
But what one of our friends, Katie, she's Katie Coaches Vegan. She's been on the podcast. Make sure you go follow her. But she was talking about how when she was telling us about her other friend group. Was that it? I might be saying this story. She was telling us about her other friend group that she has. Like, she has multiple friends. We found
very social.
She has a lot of friends. And she was like going to the bathroom, and she comes back from the bathroom, and she's like, guys, like, I just had this weird moment of being like worried that y'all were going to be upset that I had other friends. And I was like, we were all like, what?
Yeah, we're like, that's actually insane.
We're like, that's so cool. But like, that's just the kind of like in your headness that you can get about like the competition. You can only have one.
Yeah.
We've all had like, maybe when we were younger, that one friend that was like, can't have any other friends. I'm your only friend.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think unfortunately some people still have that relationship even in like adult friendships, because sometimes like, I mean, sometimes if you really love someone, it is hard to be like, I don't want to share you. Yeah. But I think it is some of that, like going back to like the security in yourself and recognizing like they can love other people and have friendships with other people and still be friends with me, I think is important. But you won't get there by forcing it. You have to like learn that within yourself sometimes. Yeah. So, but yeah, I feel like just like reassurance, but also like that creating that type of space where she felt comfortable to say that to us of like, hey, I'm feeling this thing and I'm worried about it.
She's like, is this real? I'm like, no.
And we were all like instantly no.
We're like, no.
But also, let's unpack this. Why do you feel this?
Exactly.
Our friend group hangouts are just pure therapy sessions.
Yeah, sometimes. It'll be like feral, and then we're like, but like, why?
No, exactly.
You know, where's that come from?
Okay, I think also like just actively advocating, got the word right this time, for other women in front of other women, like just creating like good positive spaces where if you catch yourself, like maybe you are the person who likes drama, maybe you are the person who likes hearing the tea. It's like, catch yourself to make sure you never talk about women behind their back in a negative light, because not only is that putting out a really bad energy, but also like the people around you will pick up on it. Where like, I definitely don't surround myself with anyone who talks bad about anyone else behind their back, because I'm like, oh, what's like, then I'm creating that mindset of you're probably doing that to me.
Most likely.
And to everyone.
Most likely.
So it's just like, create an energy, a safe space, like make sure that people around you feel comfortable, communicate with them. It's like any other relationship where you don't want to like be with a partner that hides a lot of stuff from you or is constantly talking bad about their friends either, or about you to your face. Like, you never know. True. So just like creating really positive spaces. I feel like that's all you can kind of do. Like, I've had a good amount of like girls in their young 20s going off to college who like, making friends can be really intimidating, especially at that age where you're like finding yourself too. And my biggest tip like is always just work on yourself, because like that will attract the right people.
It really will.
Yeah.
It really will. It could be a little bit, I know for me, for a period of time when I was doing that, it was lonely because I was also transforming my whole career of what I was doing. So, you know, a lot of times when we're growing up, like our friends are like, okay, these people are my friends because they just live next to me. Yep. You know, these people are my friends because they're in the same class as me.
It's like our moms are friends. So it's like, we have to be.
Exactly. Yeah. Where it's like, would we have been friends if like you weren't just my neighbor?
I think about that all the time.
And then you grow up and you start really being more aware of like, well, what do I like? Like, what groups do I want to be involved in? Yeah. And like, what kind of energy do I want to have around me? And you can be like more choosy, I guess, with who you surround yourself with.
So as a whole, work on yourself, put good energy out. It will be reciprocated. And if it isn't, if you have bad friendships that like burn or anything like that, try your hardest to not carry that with you into the next interactions.
I think that is it's a big part of it, because I remember it was a long time ago, I had posted like a video on Instagram about, basically smiling at other girls at the gym and how like
Yep.
this small little thing can make such a big difference. And a lot of the comments were surprising because a lot of them were angry girls who were angry because I've tried to do this and like it's never reciprocated and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And most of the time, like, hurt women will hurt other women.
Yep.
And if you can think of it from that lens of like, oh, we are all just hurt little girls who have, we've been burned in the past. Like, we've been pinned against each other. We've been told that like, oh, Joe, she's this one, you're this one. There can't be room for all of you here. So if you think of it from that lens, whenever maybe something isn't reciprocated or somebody is talking negatively or whatever it might be, think of it from that lens and it can be a little bit more eye-opening. Oh, okay. Like maybe that's where it's coming from. And maybe that's just not
See, that's the mom speaking through you of like, let's find out why she reacted this way.
True.
And sometimes I just have RBF in the gym that does, like, if someone comes and talks to me, I am like more than excited to talk to anyone. But little things like that. Yeah. I wish there wasn't such a heavy weight around it of like, letting it shut you down or change how you want to be.
It does. Yes. It doesn't have to make you cold and shut you down because that, like we talked about before, that kind of energy is it almost creates this block in your energetic field where like people are just going to be bounced off of you, not because you're not an incredible woman deep down, but because you're giving off this, like, I don't feel safe.
Yep.
I don't want anyone around me. Don't come into my bubble. I was definitely that person.
Yeah.
And sometimes I still.
And then I broke into yours and you broke into mine.
I love my friend Alexa. This is just proof that like my natural set point, and it's so easy to kind of go back to sometimes when you're not feeling yourself, is to be like a little bit more guarded. Like stay right here. Stay arm's distance, because if you get to know me, then my emotions are attached, and I don't want to have any emotions.
I do get that.
But my friend Alexa, who's like one of my best friends in our friend group now, she's like, I love that I like forced you to be my friend. Because she was like, I just kept like coming up to you at the gym and kept talking to you and asking you to hang out.
I think it's so ironic you said that, because when we went to her birthday, on her birthday card, I wrote like, I've known you for years. I've looked up to you for years. I'm so glad I finally weaseled my way into being your friend. So the same thing goes that way. Every time I would see her, I would go up to her. She would come up to me. And then it was just like, finally, we're friends. Only took a few years.
I'm so glad I forced you to be my friend. And that came from a place of like, I was also just like a scared, like, I'm not sure. Let me see. And she was like, nah.
Oh, last thing on that is like, don't be afraid to be the one reaching out. Like, as someone who's is naturally introverted, I try to preface to all my friends, I'm like, if I say no to something, especially in prep, or if I like can't show up for something, like, please don't take that as like I don't want to hang out with you, because it genuinely typically is like an energy conserving reason why I can't go or can't make it or I'm busy. Because some people will like reach out once, and if the person says like, oh, I can't, you kind of give up, or like twice and then you kind of give up. Don't be afraid to like keep reaching out. If you genuinely like someone and like their energy and their presence, like keep inviting them to things. And on the flip side, if you notice like you are constantly being invited, maybe be the next one to host, where I think our friend group's good at that too, where we like trade off who's inviting everyone to what event or thing or house. That way it's not like always one person, because sometimes one-sided resentment can be created through that, where it's like, well, I feel like I'm begging her to hang out with me every time. It's like she doesn't invite me to anything, but she might also not know that, because if you always take the initiative, maybe it doesn't give space the other way. If you never do, it doesn't give space the other way. So make sure you are being the one reaching out sometimes.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. That's all I got.
I'm telling y'all, it can happen.
And it is worth it.
I really believed there was this point where I looked at my partner at the time and I said, what is wrong with me that I don't have any girlfriends? And my partner had so many friends, and I was just like friends with his friends, but I didn't feel like I didn't have my own. And that's the moment that it clicked for me. It took a while, obviously, but where I was like, oh, the energy that I'm putting off is, I don't want friends. I don't want these connections.
Yeah.
And now I have this amazing group of friends that I'm like, no freaking way.
Mm-hmm.
This is so, I'm like, wait, you want to see me win? I want to see you win. We don't have to, we're not competing.
Yep.
That's pretty dope. Nice. It can happen.
So nice.
But we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If there's anyone in the comments, meet your girly gang in the comments. Give each other some love. Compliment that girl at the gym that you've been wanting to. Get out of your comfort zone. Go to those events that you're just like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. Trust me.
Yes.
Because it gets easier and easier. And you never know what your smile can do, what saying one little thing, complimenting somebody, something that you see in them.
I have remembered every compliment I've ever received.
Never know what that can do for someone else, because you never know what they're going through in their head. They might be like, I hate the way my body looks today. I feel not cute, not confident. And you're like, girl, your body's banging, that outfit slays, whatever it might be. And you just lit up their day. So you never know.
Yep.
But we hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, we love you all so much, and you are more powerful than you think.
Bye.